Welcome back to Spectrum Sphere, your go-to channel for diving into a diverse world of discovery. Today, we're embarking on a historical journey to reassess Columbus's voyage to the Americas. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to join us for weekly explorations into the marvels of our world. Before setting sail on the voyage that would change the world, Christopher Columbus honed his seafaring skills in the Mediterranean and Atlantic. His early life, marked by an unquenchable thirst for exploration, prepared him for the daring journey across the unknown waters in search of an alternative route to Asia. As the 15th century progressed, European nations were desperate to bypass the overland trade routes to Asia dominated by middlemen. The quest for a direct sea route to access spices, silk, and gold became an obsession. Columbus, convinced that he could sail west to reach the east, sought support for his expedition. With his vision of reaching Asia by sailing westward, Columbus needed backing to realize his plan. He approached several European courts with little success. Determined, he ultimately gained the support of Spanish monarchs, Queen Isabella I and King Ferdinand II, who were intrigued by the potential for new wealth and territories. Transitioning seamlessly from securing royal patronage, Columbus focused on amassing his fleet. The undertaking was colossal, selecting sturdy vessels capable of withstanding the transatlantic journey. 3 ships, the Niña, Pinta, and the flag-carrying Santa Maria, were outfitted with provisions and reinforced to navigate the unpredictable ocean tides. With meticulous care, Columbus curated his small but resilient fleet, the Niña, a swift caravel, the Pinta, known for her speed, and the robust carrack, the Santa Maria, designated as the flagship. Together, this trio of vessels embodied the hope and spirit of the expedition as they prepared to pierce the veil of the ocean's mysteries. Assembling a crew required overcoming widespread superstitions that filled the sailors' hearts with dread about sea monsters and the world's edge. Nevertheless, Columbus persuaded enough seasoned mariners and adventurous souls, promising wealth and fame, thereby securing a crew ready to venture into the unknown under his command. On a fateful morning in August 1492, 3 ships, the Niña, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, set sail from Palos de la Frontera. With the blessing of the Spanish crown and sails billowing in the wind, Columbus and his crew embarked on the voyage that would change the course of history. Amid the vast open waters, the sailors settled into a harsh rhythm of life at sea. Their days were marked by the monotonous chores of swabbing the deck, maintaining the rigging, and standing watch. Nights were restless, filled with the unending creak of wood and the ocean's capricious moods. Navigating the uncharted Atlantic, Columbus's crew relied on primitive yet vital tools and techniques. Using a compass for direction and an astrolabe to measure the angle of celestial bodies, they plotted a course by the stars. Dead reckoning helped estimate position, essential for survival in the vast, open sea. The vast ocean offered few landmarks, compelling Columbus and his navigators to look skyward. By night, they used celestial navigation, charting their path by the positions of the stars and planets. Key constellations and the ever-reliable North Star acted as guides across the unpredictable Atlantic waters. Provisions were crucial for the crew's survival during the long voyage. They stocked up on preserved foods such as salted cod, hardtack biscuits resistant to mold, and barrels of fresh water, while cheese, olives, and dried legumes provided extra nourishment. These stores had to last months, with careful rationing managed by the ship's officers. As the journey progressed, a silent adversary emerged: disease. Scurvy, caused by a lack of vitamin C, began to afflict the crew, leading to weakened bodies and morale. With limited medical knowledge, they relied on rudimentary treatments and the hope of fresh supplies, hoping to endure till land was sighted. The vast ocean expanse tested the crew's mental fortitude. Isolated from familiar land, facing the fear of the unknown at sea sparked superstitions and rumors of sea monsters. Columbus's leadership was pivotal in maintaining the crew's courage against the psychological strains of the uncharted journey that lay ahead. As hope waned, nature sent promising signals. Seabirds, seldom seen far from land, began accompanying the fleet. Clusters of drifting vegetation suggested the proximity of solid ground. These signs rekindled the crew's spirits, providing a psychological boost as they braced themselves for the long-awaited sight of land on the horizon. And then at dawn on October 12, 1492, a lookout's cry from the Pinta's crow's nest pierced the morning silence. Land. Relief and jubilation washed over Columbus and his weary crew as their eyes met the welcome sight of the Bahamas archipelago, marking a pivotal moment in human history. Upon reaching the Bahamian shores, Columbus and his crew disembarked, officially setting foot in the New World. They were greeted with curiosity by the indigenous people, the Taínos, who approached with a mix of apprehension and wonder. This marked the beginning of a profound encounter between two vastly different worlds. The encounter between Columbus's expedition and the indigenous populations was pivotal. It introduced new cultures, resources, and technologies, but it also spelled tragedy for the natives, as they faced diseases, exploitation, and massive societal change that would irrevocably alter their way of life in the years to come. Upon meeting the natives, Columbus and his crew engaged in the exchange of goods, unwitting participants in what would be known as the Columbian Exchange. They traded European items for local artifacts and foodstuffs. However, this first contact also inadvertently began the transfer of culture, ideas, and tragically, diseases. After the first landfall, Columbus set his sights on exploring neighboring islands, still under the impression that he had reached the fringes of Asia. The expedition charted the waters, seeking the riches of the East, and in doing so, mapped several islands of the Caribbean archipelago. Upon reaching the New World, Columbus performed ceremonies to claim the land for Spain. Planting the Spanish flag on alien soil, he declared sovereignty over the newfound territories under the blessing of the Spanish crown. This act of possession began a complex and contentious history of European colonization. With newfound land underfoot, Columbus and his crew went on to establish the very first European settlement in this uncharted territory. Named La Navidad, after the day of its founding, this settlement marked the beginning of a permanent European presence in the Americas, forever altering the course of history. The Santa Maria wrecked, leaving Columbus with just 2 ships, and as they began their homeward journey, the Atlantic proved merciless. The ships were battered by fierce storms, challenging the crew's fortitude. Tested by the tempestuous sea, they navigated the treacherous waters, determined to bring news of their historic discovery back to Spain. Upon reaching Spain, Columbus was met with jubilation, his journey having altered the course of history. He promptly presented himself before King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, recounting tales of newfound lands teeming with possibilities. His reports captivated the Spanish court, and the monarchs rejoiced in the monumental success of his voyage. News of Columbus's discovery spread swiftly through Europe, igniting a firestorm of interest. Scholars and monarchs alike clamored for details, pondering how this revelation would reshape the geopolitical landscape. Cartographers began revising maps, while ambitious explorers dreamt of their own voyages to these uncharted territories. The age of discovery had truly begun. The successful voyage of Columbus had far-reaching implications. It paved the way for an era of unprecedented global exploration and conquest. Soon, other European powers were embarking on their own expeditions, eager to establish trade routes and colonies, forever altering the course of history and the fate of many civilizations. Contrary to popular belief, Columbus never realized he had discovered a new continent. He went to his grave thinking he had found a new route to Asia. This enduring myth obscures the truth that the recognition of these lands as a separate continent came years after his voyages. The discovery of the Americas by Columbus opened doors to the Columbian Exchange, an era of widespread transfer of plants, animals, culture, human populations, and ideas between the American and Afro-Eurasian hemispheres. It was a pivotal moment that reshaped global agriculture, cuisine, and ecology, ultimately transforming both the new and old worlds. Christopher Columbus's legacy is a tapestry of great discovery and enduring controversy. While his voyages paved the way for the unprecedented exchange of cultures and goods, they also heralded conquest and colonization, with profound and often devastating impacts on indigenous populations, a nuanced legacy that continues to spark debate to this day. Columbus's voyages irrevocably altered the course of world history, initiating the widespread exchange of crops, animals, and technologies between the Old and New Worlds. This intermingling reshaped diets, boosted populations, and led to profound cultural transformations, while also setting the stage for centuries of exploration and colonization. As we reflect on the age of exploration, it's evident how profoundly it shaped our modern world. From global trade to cultural exchanges, the ripple effects of those daring voyages continue to influence our lives. Today, the spirit of discovery still drives us, echoing the explorer's quest for understanding and connection. That brings us to the end of our journey through the epic voyage of Christopher Columbus. We hope you enjoyed this historical voyage with Spectrum Sphere. If you're keen to continue exploring the diverse world of discovery, please click the like button, subscribe, and join us for more enlightening adventures. Thank you, and keep discovering.